It's Easter, it's Hull, it's Derby weekend, and it's absolutely freezing. I'm George Riley, this is Touchline. Hello again, welcome to Super League Touchline. It's a Derby special from here in Hull this week as we build up to the Easter Derby weekend. None bigger than this one between Hull FC and Hull KR. And we start up by building up to the big derby here in Hull with two veterans of this city's great rivalry.
Johnny Whiteley played for, captained and coached Hull FC, Yorkshire and Great Britain, fulfilling all of his childhood dreams and more. Having signed for Hull in 1950, an 18-year-old Whiteley came up against Hull Kingston Rovers in only his second game for the club. He went on to play in 27 Hull derbies, 417 games in all, and having played his entire career at Hull, was remarkably never dropped. Phil Lowe, a rampaging second row for Hull KR in his heyday, enjoyed a career spanning 3 decades and 17 seasons. He helped Great Britain to victory in the final of the 1972 World Cup and was also part of the 1980 Challenge Cup winning side that beat rivals Hull FC. Today we get the thoughts of two of Hull's biggest rugby league legends ahead of the 218th competitive derby.
I was fortunate where I signed for Hull, and 2 weeks later I'm playing in a derby game, and I thought two worlds had collided. You know, Ikey Mills stiff armed me, and I know it was Christmas, but if you'd have stuck a bulb in my mouth from when he hit me, the electricity would have lit it, and I've never forgot that.
It was fantastic, to be honest. It was sort of at Wembley. We played on Craven Park, or the old Craven Park, or the Boulevard, the old Boulevard. The spectators were a lot closer than the KC, and consequently the atmosphere was incredible, absolutely incredible. The whole stand seemed to move together, you know, following play and having a go at the various players, whichever side you were supporting that day.
Of all the games in a season, they look forward to this particular derby game. Just for the rivalry and the pressure, and as you say, you know, they're intertwined, Rovers and in one family, and so the rivalry is intense.
It's friendly rivalry with regards to a pub, and good fun. Sometimes in the city it boils over a little bit, you know, at games, but that's to be expected. It's the rivalry is just unheralded. It's fantastic, it really is. And to play, I'm envious of the Australian lads who've never done it, because I'd love to be able to do it again. It's an experience that you couldn't relive, to be honest, apart from playing in that kind of thing. And I've been fortunate to play in grand finals and at Wembley and things like that. And it's at least equal to that, it really is.
And it's a tremendous, you know, it's a fill-up really for our city. You know, we all need some lift up sometime, and you know, sport is it's a big motivation point. Is sport, and Hull and Rovers within our city, we don't care about anybody else at that particular moment. It's just Hull and Rovers.
I've gone to the Boulevard with a ragtag and bobtail side strung together and won, and I've also gone with 10 internationals in the side and got beaten. So as you say, foam's out of the window, it's who performs on the day. And both sides know this. You need a little bit of luck. You know, that's what happens in all games, you need a bit of luck, but you obviously have to set the platform to create that, because you make your own luck to a degree. You
know, you're a gladiator, and there's one supreme day when you play, and you've got to fulfil every sort of courage and attitude within the framework of that day. and it's like letting lions come out of a den, and the crowd's expectations. It all builds up to that crescendo of that first whistle going.
It's just unbelievable. Unless you've been, it's difficult for me to describe to you what it's like. It's electric. I mean, I've played at the Boulevard when they've showered us with bricks, because we've scored a try at the death and things like that. We had to abandon the game. That's how intense it is. But all forgotten the day after.
You don't need motivating. You're on tenterhooks that you've got to produce, and it's that one game where, it's the season. It's the season till the next game comes along. Not whatever what Wigan or St Helens at this immediate moment. It's just about beating your local rivals, Hull or Rovers, and so that it's absolutely special.
Oh, I think it's far and above anywhere else in the country. I really do. I know we're basically an M62 corridor, but it's far and above that, because, as you say, the crowd can lift either side, and it's amazing just to listen to the crowd having a go to each other at either end of the stands.
We're clashing every day. It isn't just something what's drawn together, and then the impetus of the game, that one game, we live it, and we talk about it forever, really, because it's inherent in our sporting history in this city, and it's handed down, and we know we're going to get a good gate, and the city buzzes.
It's a great advertisement for the game. It really is. A bit of passion, a bit of blood, all sorts of things. It's really good. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, if there is a finer sight than this here at the Hull Marina, it's the site of the city's two big rugby league rivals kicking two bells out of each other on the rugby league pitch, as they will do over the big Easter weekend. So let's talk a little bit more about the big rugby league derby with two of the region's finest journalists.
And the fact that it is the only true derby, you hear about, Leeds Bradford or Wigan Saints, with all due respect to those sides, they're not in the same city. This game matters so much to every single person in this city.
Daniel Holdsworth missing is a massive blow for Hull FC. They brought him in to provide the spark that they haven't had in recent years, and he's not playing. And when he doesn't play, the team struggles for a little bit of impetus in attack. So that's been difficult for them. But it's been a tough start. It's been a really tough start. From 2 wins out of 8, I know they've got 2 draws as well, but it's not top 4 form, is it? The only plus point is there's still a lot of rounds left for the season, but they've got to kick-start something. The derby can do that.
Both coaches, perhaps Craig Sandercock more than Peter Gentle after what happened last year. They both had their first seasons last year. Peter Gentle took Hull FC to the playoffs. Rovers missed out on the playoffs under Craig Sandercock. So I think it was important for Rovers to get off to a good start this year. And now they are slowly turning things around. They've won 3 of the last 4 games. So perhaps form is with them.
A derby win could help turn things around, but it's an intriguing contest. Like Charlie was saying, Hull Kingston Rovers, their attack's been fantastic, the defence has been left wanting a little bit. It's been the other way around for Hull FC. Hull FC's defence has really kept them in most games this season. It's their attack that's been the problem. So it's a really intriguing battle just to see how that really exciting Hull KR attack gets on against a really solid Hull FC defence. It's one that you feel they both really could do to win, but one that Hull FC really desperately need to win.
But also just the atmosphere, walking to the ground, you see the fans walking side by side with their Hull KR shirts and Hull FC shirts. There's no real trouble at these games. It's good banter between the two sets of fans, and when you do, just prior to build up, you look at the Hull KR fans, they're jam-packed behind the goal there, and as soon as their team comes out, you know, it can almost be like the stadium is filled with Hull KR fans, and likewise when Hull FC fans come out, the atmosphere just blows you away. As for the game itself, I think it's going to be a tight one. I mean, we've put our necks on the line in the past and sort of called the game and been made fools of by what's happened on the pitch. So I'm going for a tight game.
People say all the time form counts for nothing in the derby. It really does count for nothing in the Hull KR derby, because we've seen so many times in the past Hull FC have gone into the game on a really good winning run, scoring a lot of points, beating very good teams, and Rovers have gone to the KC and won. Likewise, Hull have been patchy and scrappy, and they've gone to Craven Park and beat a Hull KR team in good form. You just honestly cannot call it. It's who comes on to the day with the most intensity and the most desire to win.
Right, enough of Hull Marina. Let's see some action. Let's see some tries. Here's the pick of the bunch from last week in top 5. Try number 5 this week comes from London. Luke Dawn starts it, and in the end we see the kind of skill that has made Kieran Dixon a real rising star. Plenty of work to do. Completely bamboozles the backline and goes over for the Broncos. Next up, spot the ball if you can. Francis Melly finishes it off. Gotta love summer rugby. It was great play though by Saints down the far side. Melly with the turn of pace on the inside to find some grass and finish it off for Saints. Number 3, similar conditions, similar burst of pace. This time Ryan Atkins with the break. He's got options left and right. Goes right, and Stefan Ratchford finishes it off. Second best this week we go to Perpignan, and it may have been the Catalans' game, but this was a moment of magic from the Bradford Bulls. Great outside pass and a brilliant finish from Elliot Keir. This week's top score, though, pick of the bunch, came from the Wigan Warriors. Plenty to choose from as well. It was one of a hat-trick for Josh Charnley. Matty Smith with the break. Perfectly weighted kick. And Charnley, the hat-trick man, with this week's top try. Well, let's continue our build-up then to the big derby here in Hull. Mixed start, I think it's fair to say, to the season 2013 for both FC and for Rovers. 2 points separate them in the table, so a win here could be the kickstart to the season that both sides need.
Form sheet goes out the window in a derby game, but in saying that, they've probably got the best halfback in the competition, the best attacking team on the for and against, and they've got 2 monstrous back rowers who have been terrorising teams. So we know we've got a fair job ahead of us, but form goes out the window and we can see how we go on Friday.
It tends to notch it up on another 20-30% in all aspects of the game without even knowing. The speed of the game, the intensity, the collisions, they all just seem to go up another notch.
The buzz is astonishing. You see the jumpers getting around about Wednesday. It's game on. It's derby week, so it's a big occasion for the city.
It's just a must-win game. It's almost like a cup game kind of feel to it. It feels like a bit like a one-off. You've got to win this. I think it's all the fans. It means that much to the fans, and for the bragging rights as much as everything else. That it's just a must-win.
Raise your banner for the noise. Wake the dogs up. Call your boys.
It's Hull KR and it's a big derby, and it's, for the supporters it's bragging rights for the next few months, so we need to repay the fans with they can watch us with the hard-earned money every week and we haven't performed for them, so we know it's going to be a tough ask this week, but if we can get it right and get a good performance in, we'll get 2 points behind it.
You know, I've been in the town for over a year now, and I talk to our supporters on a regular basis, and you know, I really understand how much it means to them, and that's why I said earlier we really want to put on a good performance, you know, for our loyal supporters.
It's a carnival atmosphere, it really is, and anyone who hasn't been to a game before, yeah, it's a special game. I'd encourage anyone to come and have a look at it, and I think you'll enjoy it.
It seems to be every time we go to the KC, there's 3 stands of all fans, but then one of our fans, and they still seem to, you know, out voice them, so to speak. So it's crazy how they do it, and there's such a boost, you know, as soon as you hear them going and roaring, you know, there's such a boost to the side.
Are you ready for the war? Bring your colours to the floor.
Right, that's your lot for this week. It's just starting to get a little bit breezy here in Hull. We hope you enjoyed the Easter fixtures. Good luck to your team, whoever they are, and we'll be back with Touchline, hopefully, next week.